a good thing because, you know, some people may be colorblind. They need that auditory signal. I don't know, but even if you are, you know, it's kind of like you can see it. You can see the bar. It's in the lower right. That grimer went down. Hey, what's up? And again, this is not going to be one of those things where it's like, oh man, you're jumping off the back of the Game Grumps, because, I mean, yeah, Game Grumps are playing it now, but I've played every gen up to now, and if I had the recording technology, or I guess the recording equipment, I call it technology. It is technology, but it's not really technology. It's more or less just an attachment for a computer. So, I'll say, if I had the equipment to do it, I would have definitely put those videos up. But I do not. I'm not allowed to record, so I'm using it on my PC, and I can do pretty much whatever game I can think of that comes to mind. I can just go into my open broadcaster and be like, hey, yeah, here we go. And also, if anybody wants to see a face cam, it wouldn't be all that interesting, and that's kind of a thing that I kind of appreciate that Game Grumps talked about, because I do watch their stuff. I do find their commentary hilarious. But, like, when they're talking about their playthroughs, they're like, well, you know, we don't really need a face cam. It's not really about us. It's about the game. It's about the commentary. And that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, you don't really need to see a facial expression. And it's not like this is a scary game, so you're going to see something spectacular with my face going on, like, oh my god, that was terrifying. And even if it was a scary game, and I'll prove this at any time if anyone wants to know, but even if it was like a scary game or something like that, I have no issue with those games. That is a nice thing about those warp pads, is they are a lot faster in this version. I remember them being so slow in red, blue, and yellow, and that was annoying to me because it would take an hour to get through these puzzles because you're just like spinning super slow. And it's like, oh man, I hope I don't get going backtracked, and then you'd end up back at the start and you'd be like, oh fuck. TM12 is Taunt, which is a useless move we will probably never use, especially for AI battles. Now, if you're a competitive Pokemon player, don't get me wrong, I appreciate what you do. I understand your EV training needs. However, if you're just playing the game to play the game, it is not one of those things that is important to me. And it is not important for AI or any other purpose. So, it's just one of those things that does not matter to me. Alright, going back down here, going down. And we can keep going down. Doop, doop. Doop, doop. And people get confused by this, but really all you have to do is, you know, you see an arrow, so you follow the path and you see, oh, well, that arrow is going to take me up and then left. And then you follow this arrow, it's like, oh, this is going to take me down. So you just follow linear ideas. You follow the line, and then you know exactly where you're going to go. And you don't get lost or confused or anything like that. And I don't have the key to use the lift, but I'm just going to go in here to say, oh, it appears to need a key. For anybody who wasn't aware of that already. Because, yeah, if I wanted to, I could just skip most of these trainers here. Like, they're completely oblivious. But because I like the prospect of leveling my Dratini, I'm not going to do that. And that's a big thing for gyms too. Like, a lot of people like to skip the pre-gym leader trainers because they don't want to have to go through that process. And I can understand to some degree. Like, if you go to a gym, you don't have to, you know, fight through all the minions or whatever just to get to, you know, the main person you're trying to go to. But for the sake of RPGs, leveling is your biggest and most important job as the, I guess you could say, omnipresent player of the game. And this Grimer's evasiveness is probably going to keep me in here for a while. Yep, he's going to do it again right now. Nope, hiding. Tongue twisters. Anywho. Man, I'm just missing all over the place. If I keep missing, then I'll just go into, like, my Butterfree. It has Aerial Ace, so I don't have any problems with that. Evasiveness will not affect me. Disable on water gun, will ya? Shame on you. Oh, the bite hit. That was good. Shinron is now level 20. Attack stat though. Coughing, yes. We're going to go back into Shenron. And again, another thing they fixed with the later generations is the EXP share, which I really like. Like, everybody complains about it because it ruined their EV training and all that sort of stuff, and it really doesn't. It doesn't affect any of your stats because you can just go into the mini games and completely fix it. Or, you know, you can simply turn it off if you want to do that, which is nice. But it also gave you the ability to, like, say you're in an area that is specifically not going to help your Pokemon. Like, if I took my Wartortle into an electric Pokemon zone, and I'm fighting all electric Pokemon, then I completely lose any effective training for my Wartortle that way. And it pretty much just, like, lessens the want or desire to be in that area because I can't train effectively to get the levels I need for a Wartortle or a flying type or anything like that in an electric zone. But with the EXP share, which is now spread through every Pokemon instead of just one, which is what it used to be, is like you just give it as a hold item to any one Pokemon, and as long as they hold it, they get the EXP bonus. Which is annoying because then it only affects that one guy. Or that one Pokemon. One guy. Whatever I talked about. Most of my team is male, so, you know, it's kind of coming out as like, oh, well, that one guy, but I don't mean it like that. I do not have any antidotes, do I? I don't believe I do. Oh well, I won't worry about it. Let me check my berry case. Maybe I have an extra one I can spare. Sure. We have one. Bam. Done. Okay. So anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, but EXP shares. I mean, it was just a nice addition to the later games, especially for keeping your teams evenly balanced, which, as you can see, I like to do, even though Butterstick, when I went to the grass gym, kind of had to take over, because my water types weren't going to help me, and I was trying not to use any of my weaker people to such types like my Pikachu. Even though it does normal damage, it really is an ineffective choice for a poison / status effect battle that the Celadon City Gym brings, because most of the Pokemon she has know a powder move, be it Poison Powder or Paralysis Powder or Stun Spore, I mean. or sleep powder, and you just don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm like, alright, you just don't use Pikachu, or anybody else who might be affected by that. So that's another reason I didn't bring in my Doug Trio, or, you know, I had a flying type at the time, which would have done great, but it was under leveled heavily because I was only using it for fly, because I don't really want a flying type Pokemon on my team. I mean, technically I do have my Butterfree, which is good, because I do like my bug types. Because I feel that they're undervalued, if I haven't discussed this before. But, what Butterfree can't do, even though it is a flying type, is learn the move Fly to lift a person and fly them to a certain location. And I normally wouldn't have an issue with that, except for the fact that a Pidgey or a Spearow can learn Fly. And they are like 3 times smaller than a Butterfree or anything like that with wings. So I'm just like, man, that really, really sucks. Why will you not let me do that? But, again, that's Pokemon logic for you. I mean, there are things that make sense and don't make sense. Like certain Pokemon are Dragon types, and yet my Gyarados is not a Dragon type. It makes no sense to me. Wow, that quick attack did some damage. Okay. So we're going to go into Totoro then. And just for grins, we're going to Mega Kick his butt. If it'll hit, that is. I may have some trouble here. There we go. Bam. My turtle usually has some good hits with a Mega Kick, but it seems like it's having some trouble today. Going back to Shenron. Then the Gyarados. My Jawsome. Feel the rage. Feel all of the rage. And that's kind of sad, actually, because actually, I may have been lying about his base damage. I think it's base 50. Now that I think about it, let me check. Okay, no, it is 40 HP. Okay, yeah, I was right. Good. Whew. Revive the Chew. We will gladly give him a potion just to handle some of that damage there. Going downstairs now, which is where I was before. I'm just kind of checking things out before, seeing if I could get items. Yeah, then we're going to go over here. Again, just follow the line. Don't get confused by how many arrows there are. Just follow the one path and you'll figure out which way to go. So, yep, can't go anywhere here because that'll lead me back. So we're going back up again, which is fine. You know what? I completely forgot what I picked up. So we're going to look, and I'm probably going to be like, oh wait, I think it was that. Yeah, no big deal. Okay. So going this way, and anybody who watched Twitch Plays Pokemon, you understand how this can be a nightmare if you have multiple inputs. It is a wonder why, I can't imagine, blah 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 blah. But the whole reasoning behind that was, you know, a social experiment, which is still going on. I believe Twitch Plays Pokemon is still a thing. I forget, I don't know what they're playing now. They could be on the Gen 6 or Gen 5 Pokemons. I think the last time I watched, they were playing Um,